practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. Now, if you look behind me now, you'll see a lot of people trying to fish here and trying to catch some fish. They've been doing this for hours, and it's a very practical example of the fact that if you are fishing for weeks or months or years and you don't have a mentor to watch you in terms of what bait you're using or what fishing pole you're using or what beach you're using to fish at, you may spend months or years not getting any fish at all. Now, the concept of this is mentorship, as well as having teachers and gurus, people who actually know what they're doing and are 20, 30 years ahead of you. Okay? So that is the concept of this video. Again, this is Doc Testosterone, and I'm actually loving today. Had a lot of fun last night, ate some really good food, started my 48-hour fast last night. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be my first 48-hour fast. Now, let's get back into this practice makes perfect thing and perfect practice and how to get there. So let's cover some topics, and then I'll give you some examples of what I actually mean. Okay, now we already covered the fishing thing here. Let's also look at physical training, right? So the other day I was trying to do some core training. I was doing this vacuum thing on horse stand. And as I was breathing in and out, right? My mentors saw that I was doing something known as reverse breathing. So as I inhaled, instead of my belly expanding, it contracted. And that's not good, because what you want to do is when you inhale, you want your belly to come out. And right then and there is a perfect example of why mentors are important, why teachers are important, okay? So that is something you should keep in mind. So when you're exercising, you're doing deadlifts or squats or bench or anything, there's these subtle things that you can improve in your posture, in your form, that will help you improve your gains exponentially. Now, one interesting thing I just learned last week is what it means to push with your heels in a bench press. So when you're doing your bench and you're lifting up, you're actually supposed to push down with your heels of your foot. I didn't even fucking know that. I just figured that out, and it helped me dramatically. So remember that as well. So that's the exercise portion of it. The food portion of it is similar. So if you're eating a paleo diet, or you're eating vegan, whatever you're eating, or just a normal diet where you eat everything like an American diet, and you don't have any feedback, you don't have any measurements. Remember, feedback is not just from people, feedback is not just from yourself, you just hearing yourself. It's also from measurements, right? So if you're writing things down in a journal in terms of tracking your food, your weight, when I used to do now I'm doing the 48-hour fast, but for 4 weeks I did a 36-hour fast, and right before that I had a cheat day, and every morning I went to the weighing scale on an empty stomach without drinking any water in the morning, and I weighed myself. And I was consistent every day to see how my weight changes. So you need to understand that a big part of feedback is the numbers giving you feedback, okay? Now I also just mentioned, this is really interesting, the two types of human feedback are, one, when you talk to people, you mention things to people and they talk back to you and say, hey man, you're doing this wrong or you're doing this right. The other type of feedback, which happens at the same time, is when you just hear yourself. This is huge because shit that's coming out of your mouth and your auditory system is listening to it and it goes back in your brain, that is a double layer of processing, right? So your brain internally already came up with that thought, you uttered it from your mouth, but then it hears it again, right? So now that's a level of feedback too. That's why sometimes when you just talk to someone and they're not even saying anything, they might not even be listening, but you figure it out. You figure out the solution just by saying it with your mouth. It's because your brain is processing it again, okay? So that's why feedback is so important. So you're saying it to people, you're hearing it yourself. Now, another huge thing you can do to get feedback is record yourself in videos. You see what I'm doing here? as I record myself, as I tell you very personal things that I'm afraid of, I'm overcoming fear. That's huge. That's the ultimate goal for me in life, to overcome irrational fear, and hopefully all fear in general. And it is for me to get feedback from you guys. Sure, I've studied for years. Sure, I have a PhD. But again, I want to learn from everyone. And I'm very open to feedback. And I want to become very coachable, like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player ever, was probably the most coachable person ever. And all of his coaches said that because he understood the power of feedback. And all the greats understand that. So make videos, guys. Go on YouTube and start publishing videos like me. All right? Like, who gives a fuck how fucked up that shit is? You don't have to be good. Send it to your friends. You know, make a small list of your friends. Send to them through email or tag them on Facebook. Make videos. As you make videos, you will get feedback from people about how shitty you are, or how good you are, or how they're gonna just ignore you because no one fucking watched your video. But look, don't worry about it, okay? I'll give you feedback, okay? Tag me. Very important. You can do podcasts, you can take photos. You know how you take photos, your selfies and shit, and people are giving you feedback about how amazing your shirt was, or your shoes, or your hair, or whatever the fuck. That is what you want in life. Okay, so when I post videos and people ask me questions, that's a form of feedback too, because I'm understanding what kinds of thoughts are being triggered in people through my videos. And that is why I always ask for comments and questions, so I can understand my video better and I can understand these thoughts better. So that's it. That's sort of my rant on feedback. As an action item, I want you to make a video today. I don't care how long it is. It could be 5 fucking seconds. Make a video, put it on the internet. Tell people your fears. Tell people what you're scared of. Who gives a fuck, man? Get feedback from people, and that is how you will get perfect practice, and therefore, perfect practice makes perfect, so you will become perfect one day. I'm just kidding, but you will become better. All right, so this is Dr. Testosterone. See you next time. Have a nice day.